Hello. There we go. Hello, campers. Still getting used to this new Facebook Live platform. The tiny video is so tiny down the corner. Welcome to Wednesday. And so this morning, I finished, I'll show you the cover, Wild by Cheryl Strayed. It's a book that I read a number of years ago and definitely have seen the movie. And really speaks to my love of hiking and being outside. And it was a really, really great reread that definitely in the times that we're experiencing right now, there's a few passages that spoke to me even more than they had the first time around. So thank you, Explore Magazine, for one of the tips. They have a few tips for things you can do at home. One of them, I believe, is sitting outside. Maybe that was my tip that I came up with, but I'm definitely sitting in a sunbeam right now, enjoying the beautiful day while doing a little video. So for me, I consider this week 3 of COVID. As I shared in a previous video, to me, it's kind of like dating. You take note of the first few weeks really closely, and then it's a few months, and then all of a sudden it's just what life is, and you don't know how it was ever different. And so for me, I know the first week for sure. So a couple weeks ago, there was a lot of panic in my life, and a lot of I definitely did some panic grocery shopping. Went out and bought a bunch of food, and settled things down now. I know what part of that is I just stay out of grocery stores unless we need groceries. Right now, we're good for about 2 weeks, so that makes my world much better. And just thinking about all the mental things that are clogging our brains right now that are completely valid as we're having our human responses to what's going on in the world around us. I wanted to share, it's a paragraph from Cheryl Strayed's book, Wild. I read it without the cover on it, otherwise it's just going to get crinkled. Because it talks about how, especially in the earlier part of our hike, how she dealt with some of the mental challenges of long-distance hiking, especially as a solo backpacker, and a solo female backpacker. So we'll start with the clamor of what have I gotten myself into was a mighty shout. It could not be drowned out. The only possible distraction was her vigilant search for rattlesnakes. I expected one around every bend, ready to strike. The landscape was made for them, it seemed, and also for mountain lions and wilderness-savvy serial killers. But I wasn't thinking of them. It was a deal I'd made with myself months before, and the only thing that allowed me to hike alone. I knew that if I allowed fear to overtake me, my journey was doomed. Fear, to a great extent, is born of a story we tell ourselves, and so I chose to tell myself a different story from the one women are told. I decided I was safe. I was strong. I was brave. Nothing could vanquish me. Insisting on the story was a form of mind control, but for the most part, it worked. Every time I heard a sound of unknown origin or felt something horrible cohering in my imagination, I pushed it away. I simply did not let myself become afraid. Fear begets fear. Power begets power. I willed myself to beget power. It wasn't long before I actually wasn't afraid. I was working too hard to be afraid. And so I wanted to share this with you today in case fear is still the biggest thing in your mind, or whether it's worry or doubt or confusion, or whether you've gotten into I'm just not going to engage with the world around me. To really take a think about what it is that's in your thoughts, because our thoughts control our actions, and what we're thinking is what's going to manifest. So if we can switch up those thoughts and to think differently, that's how we end up being able to do differently in our world. So as you bring the outdoors inside by sitting in a sunbeam or maybe on a balcony wrapped in a warm blanket, take a think about what you're thinking. And if you want some different ideas rather than just brute force to change your thinking, send me a message. I'd be happy to chat about it, and definitely we'll have some other resources coming out in the next couple days about different things we can do to switch up that mental chatter to get us back into empowering, back into productivity, back into the mindset that gets you to the results, the life that you want to most live. All right, enjoy your Wednesday.